Hey, what's up, guys? Live again. Okay. And bear with the nobody who is here. None of you. By the way, if you ever are just scrolling on YouTube and then you see the little notification, like you've hit the bell, and then you see, oh, Jeremy's going live, just know you can wait a few minutes for him to get settled in. Because I don't do it beforehand. Share screen. Okay. Jamie put out a new video. Let's check it out. Thank you for the recommendation, Alicia.
You guys, my name is Jamie Logan. What the hell is up, you guys? My name is Jamie Logan, and we are here in London. I definitely have to work on my accent. This is Stephanie
You and me both, Jamie.
Lane's amazing project where she has created a human-sized pig farrowing crate to just get people thinking about some of the torture chambers that we put animals through. You look disturbed. What's going through your head?
It's quite disturbing, like you said. Yeah.
It makes me really sad. It's powerful.
It looks very terrible and very upsetting.
Yeah.
Overwhelming.
Steph is gonna spray me with poop spray.
You are doing the right thing. As a younger person, you're trying to convince us oldies who are set in our ways, and you need to keep doing it.
This is the one, the only, the Stephanie Lane. How did you even come up with this idea of putting a woman inside of a farrowing crate?
The main reason why I started doing this and kind of changed my career around completely was because I realized that there was no one in the art world doing this. Obviously, you know that female non-human animals tend to be the most abused and, exploited in every way because of their reproductive systems and all of that.
The men try to take it all from us,
Everything
don't they?
And, secretions, eggs, everything.
Hi, guys. What brings you here today?
Yep.
What brings us here?
Yep.
Well, I'm responsible for a lot of pigs' deaths over my years. So not anymore. Past 4 years I haven't. So I thought, as I'm so responsible, I feel like, me experiencing what I put mothers through, like these mother pigs through, kind of makes sense. There's kind of a bit of penance there, where I think that real sensory understanding. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yes. What got you to change? So what were you doing to them?
Well, I was putting them here in the UK, we put them in gas chambers around 6 months. When you eat meat here, you don't really look for that. You have to kind of I did it through like a willpower challenge. And then I was like, I can watch all these documentaries now because I'm not eating meat. And then I was like, oh my God, this is what's going on.
Do you think that when people are eating bacon sandwiches that they have any idea where that animal's coming from?
No. I think they're so just completely removed from the reality of where that piece of flesh has come from. They can't even really make the connection. Even if you sit with them and tell them that's actually a piece of a body part of a living being, a sentient being, they just can't even imagine it unless they see, maybe if they saw an actual pig on their plate. Mm-hmm. But even then, they just, because it's so disconnected.
Just want to point out, we've been reacting to a lot of the PETA hit pieces. PETA's been doing this kind of thing. they've been doing sort of like, displays like this, not necessarily like a full like artistic display, but kind of stunts like this. I think they're very effective. What's up, Jake? How you doing? Thanks for being out there today. I guess earlier today, doing your thing.
The way marketing has completely brainwashed people, they can't even relate to it in any way, and that's why I think obviously using humans in those situations, suddenly they see themselves in that position and they're like, wait a minute.
They got real babies in it?
In those situations, suddenly they see themselves in that position and they're like, wait a minute, that can't be happening to humans.
It's relatable. I mean, I've lost a baby myself.
Yeah.
Overwhelming.
The connection that you can make with the pigs and bearing crates, like when you see humans and babies, like, oh, you can make a connection like mothers.
Babies being killed against their will. What would you say to somebody that is eating pigs?
We shouldn't be eating any animals at all, because thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill, so there is no object. That means thou shalt not kill any sentient beings at all.
That's like the first commandment. Where are people getting confused?
Exactly, that's the sixth commandment, by the way. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Well, thank you, dude. You're going in here next, all right? We'll dress you up and put you in there.
All right.
So to really give us the full experience, Steph is going to spray me with poop spray. Okay, are we ready? She goes.
Poop spray.
Yeah. Oh my God, she goes, are you ready for
It's a good thing you got all dressed up, Jamie.
the smell? I don't know. I don't think I am. Oh, I smell that.
What are they going
That
to do?
is-
Or spray or
Oh, I
something?
don't like that at all.
Smell the smell.
Yeah, I smell the smell. That's disgusting. Oh my God.
This is what the pigs live in.
This is what the pig.
Constantly.
How do you think they made that poop smell? Like, did they have somebody fart into the bottle and you're just spraying it? Oh my God.
It's fart spray. That's what they're doing. Fart spray. I watched this YouTube channel called Chochu and Kwan, and he's done a couple of times. It's just this like young guy. He's like in his 20s, and he just pranks his uncle constantly. His uncle just never seems to realize he's being pranked, or if he does, he is a very good actor, and he's gotten him with the fart spray like 3 times, and it is hilarious. If you need an escape, no, not animal rights, just funny pranks. Chocho and Kwan. Thanks. I didn't have a lot of interviews, but some meaningful ones. Nice. A lot of views. Very cool. Yeah. I think the lives are the ticket. The live activism seems to be popping off. We're in like a little period of time where that seems to be hitting the algorithm, right?
No, that's unbearable. I'm going to throw up. That is like unbearable. That is really disgusting. I feel like it's going to be.
Oh, I was going to say, but yeah, I mean, he was like in tears. It's so bad. I've never encountered it. I watched this other guy, Khalid Ataf, who pranks people in his convenience store, his gas station convenience store in Chicago. And he had one where he was like asking people to smell his weed, and he fart sprayed it, and he'd be like, can you tell me if that's any good?
Comedy show, me trying to climb into this thing. We have to like set the tone.
I am proud to be a British farmer, where we have the highest welfare standards in the world.
Pigs spend their entire lives in these crates, and I can tell you right now, it sucks. It's really not comfortable. I can't turn around. I can stand up, but I can't turn around. And it's just, if we wouldn't want these things done to us, we should not say it's okay to do this to others. You know what I mean? Seems reasonable. All right. Can I come out now? So you just climbed inside there. What was that like for you?
Terrifying. I couldn't turn around. Like, I'm just locked there. I can't do anything. It was like a nightmare, and that's their life. So the nightmare for me is their life. If it's not okay for humans, it's not okay for animals.
Exactly.
Well, pretty horrible. It's pretty uncomfortable in there. Yeah, I mean, I put so many mothers through that. I felt it was only right to experience what I was putting them through. Just sitting there, all you see is a metal bar. Nothing you can do. You know, worst enemy you wouldn't put that through, let alone.
I like this art display, interactive, letting people go into it. That's cool.
Hey,
I can only imagine with no entertainment, there's no reality TV, there's no video games, it's very like isolating too, not a lot of social behavior. You kind of go crazy.
The one thing that I really noticed was I was lying there looking around and everyone was laughing and like having a good time. And I was there just like lying in pain, thinking about what these animals are going through, and everyone else around me was just having a really good time. So it really hit home for me, being in that crate.
Yeah, it's kind of like what happens in reality, right? Like we all go about our lives and our day, except like there are millions of pigs living like that right now.
Exactly. That was what was going through my mind.
Treat animal in this way is not good, but eating animal is not bad.
What is the better way of doing this? Can you describe that?
Well, we see them in the fields, don't we? In the when you go to East Anglia, you see.
Calvin, what's up? Nice to see you, Calvin. Calvin, I've got to get you on the podcast at some point because we did a podcast with Colin and Mel and Steve and Chris Hines. We got to complete the whole crew. We got to get the crew. So maybe I'll hit you up on Instagram if you're interested.
In the big open paddocks. So I guess that's a better way of doing it.
Okay. Yeah. So where do they all ultimately end up?
Slaughterhouse.
Big honor to see you.
Slaughterhouse. So let's say there's an animal that lived a great life, that experiences freedom. What makes it all right or okay for us to take that life away from them if we don't have to for survival?
I mean, yeah,
it's very sad.
It's
quite
a poignant thing, isn't it?
And we do need to take it on board.
Yeah.
What's up, Felix? Nice to see you. It's Jack. There's old Jack. Let's see. Let me see. Hang on a second. Calvin, do you have a channel? Am I subbed? I'm trying to look. I know I follow you on Instagram. Hang on. Sorry to make y'all watch me do this. I click on your name and it just gives me all these options for... Oh, wait, here we go. Oh, okay. All right. You're not putting content out there yet. Okay, vegan multitaskers. All right. Well, I'll link it anyway. There's some content there.
I think there's better and worse ways, but I think ultimately we should try and develop like a culture where it's stigmatized to harm animals in the same way it would be to harm humans.
Interesting. So maybe stop trying to find the right way to do the wrong thing.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Why we cannot kill animal and we can kill the plants?
I've never heard of a broccoli slaughterhouse. Expand.
Why? I don't think they lie. They live.
Wait, where are they now? Are they in New York? Because we had Humane Hancock there, and we got Jamie. It's Jamie and everybody's speaking.
Yes, the Buddhists won't kill any living thing, will they? So
Yeah. Let's say we did want to save the plants. We can actually save more plants by eating them
it's one
directly
day, huh?
because the animals eat the vast majority of plants grown. We currently raise about 92 billion animals every single year, so we have to feed them plants and then we take their lives away. So if we did want to actually cause less casualties and reduce casualties, we could go directly to the plants. Does that make sense?
if you consider them as casualties.
Correct. I think of it this way. It's like, let's say you're driving in a car and a deer jumps out. Would you hit that deer or would you try to swerve onto the grass? Like, are you worried about the grass, please?
He's worried about the car.
or the car. And to be fair, but I think it's just something to consider and think about that, like,
To reflect
I can understand your point.
I mean, if a carrot was in there, we wouldn't give a fuck.
Who was in there?
If a carrot.
Oh, a carrot.
Or a cabbage.
Yeah, or a piece of broccoli. What do you have against vegetables?
Nothing.
Jamie's quite good.
That's
That's my insightful addition to this video. Jamie's good. She's very good. I don't know what else I got. It's just cool. It is very good.
vegetable hater.
Cheers, thank
Cheers.
you.
Historically, we've always eaten animals. We're trying to reach
Historically, but historically.
Speciesism art installation. That's cool. What's up, Alicia? You sent this to me, Alicia. This is all you're doing. It had crossed my radar already because I think I saw an Instagram post or something about it.
Can you name a few things that we've done historically
But you gave me the nice nudge to cover, feature it.
that maybe wasn't so kind? Like what are some movements that come to mind that once was very popular, but that we realized maybe wasn't so ethical?
I made the fair code from the animals, if you think.
Okay, fur. What about things that happened to humans? That was once traditional. Slavery
Yeah.
was once, something that everybody agreed with, thought was, something we always.
It's not ringing a bell, Jake. Her dressing up as Jesus. Don't think I've seen that. Yeah, right, Doggo. Swerving is pretty dangerous. You may want to just slam the brakes as hard as you fucking can. Don't take my advice. I believe for legal liability purposes, I should say that I am not an expert.
did, but I think when it comes to a point in time where we can choose alternatives that are kinder, the question is why don't we?
I think a lot of people are turning
Yeah, I think a lot of
slowly
people
or
are.
reducing.
Yeah, I
we
think a
tend
lot
to
of
not
people
eat as much meat
We're
as
going
we
to have
did.
to for our own survival.
Oh, there you go. So when we talk about reducing, it's about trying to do less of the wrong thing. But at the end of the day, the killing is where the problem lies, right? So I just encourage you to just think about this like you would any other social justice issue, where if you are against racism, misogyny, you would say, well, I'm not just going to do less of that. I'm going to not do any of it at all because I see it as wrong. So when we look at killing animals for something that's unnecessary because we can survive without harming them, I encourage you to look at it from that perspective and say, I am fully against this. I'm not just going to do it sometimes. I'm not going to do it at all.
Like sexism, you discriminate someone based on their sex. Racism, you discriminate someone based on their color. Speciesism is you discriminate based on their species. Why are we doing that? We're an animal-loving country. Why are we doing that?
We have to do that in order to exploit them the way that we do. We have to say that they're less than us, that they're not as intelligent, that they're pigs and that they're dirty. We have to say these things to make ourselves comfortable with the torture that we put them through. Well, what would you say to somebody that says, well, they're not humans, so we should be doing this to them?
Whether they are humans or not, the fact is that they do suffer and they can feel pain, and that's all that matters. So it doesn't matter what species anyone is, just like it doesn't matter what color anyone is, doesn't matter what race anyone is. We all feel pain and suffering, and we want to stop that. We don't want to cause pain and suffering to anyone, and that applies to non-human animals.
Yeah, that was just for the jerks that are going to comment on my YouTube channel and write that.
I was going to do it, Jamie. Were you there, Calvin?
So listen up.
You are doing the right thing. As a younger person, you're trying to convince us oldies who are set in our ways, and you need to keep doing it. You do need to keep doing it.
Oh, I'm not going to stop until the world changes.
To our kids, recycling. Why aren't you doing recycling as much as we're doing recycling? So we rely on you youngsters to set the trend.
Well, it comes to a point where if I want my children and my children's children to have a future, we have to do something about it.
We have to. Otherwise,
Yeah, and the change starts with us.
We will go for dinner. We won't have pork.
Hey, that's a good start.
Pork anyway, really.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Oh God, this one. This one. I'm gonna put you in the pig farrowing crate now.
You're in London. Go to one of the, I'm sure, 80,000 vegan restaurants they have in London.
See how much you like it. What an incredible evening it has been. We interviewed so many people that for the first time ever, they had been forced to think about what kind of conditions these poor pigs live in their entire lives. Hopefully they won't be eating them anymore. So you guys know the drill. Go follow me at It's Jamie's Corner. Follow speciesism.wtf and check out more of Stephanie's work. So without further ado, please go vegan, and until next time, bye.
Cool video. Nice. There's the link. Y'all know the assignment. All right. Staying with London, I believe, or at least the UK. Our good friend Elle. This is another from the We the Free event. Very cool. I did, Alicia, and I actually have it pulled up. I was going to watch that right after this one. Oh, Birmingham this was. Okay. I don't know the UK map very well. And by very well, I mean at all. I don't know at all. So I don't know where Birmingham is. I used to live in Alabama in the US for one horrible year. Don't live in Alabama, guys. I know most of you already knew that, but just don't do it. Don't do it. But anyway, Birmingham is actually a pretty cool city in Alabama, in my opinion. But then again, I was in Tuscaloosa, and so any city would have been good. Yeah. Not my favorite place.
In just under 5 minutes, everyone who is over here is going to see the result of animal exploitation. There is a line of people waiting to see what happens in animal agriculture. They've got headphones where they'll be able to see and hear exactly what happens. So can you explain what you just saw for 3 minutes on the movie there?
It was savage, absolutely savage. I mean, I've seen bits like it before. If you remember a few years ago, the Netflix series, I can't remember them. There was quite a few movies that came out. The bit with the chicks, with the going over live, that was particularly savage.
What, the male chicks going into the grinder?
Yeah. I couldn't believe that. I'm so glad it paused at that point.
Yeah, obviously
you know?
50% are going to be male, so 50% first day of life into a macerator. Yeah.
The sounds of the pigs at the end, that's haunting.
When they were sent to the gas chamber.
Yeah, absolutely haunting with it. But yeah, it was absolutely brutal.
Yeah, I've been outside these gas chamber facilities. They're scattered across the UK, and you see the pigs, and we have a chance to stop and have a moment with them. And some of them are sleepy because they've had a long journey where they've been starved because they're going to be killed. you see them in the eye and just horrendous.
Yeah. I mean, my mother used to have a pet pig, so that was a bit brutal for me. You know, it's that was a lot more shocking. I wasn't expecting it quite like that.
Well, here's the question: are you vegan yourself?
I have been. If I'm honest, I got peer pressured back into it because I felt like an outcast. You know, whenever you're eating with family and stuff like that, you got to prepare something different every time, and it got really socially awkward.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's usually the vegan that has to feel socially awkward.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, like I was the vegan who was socially awkward because I was a vegan for about 6 months.
Oh,
but
I see.
It was so bad that it caused issues in my family at that point, and caused a lot of problems within my relationships, which is quite difficult, you know, because I really enjoyed it. And one of the greatest parts, a friend described it to me as feeling unwrapped after about 2 months. Suddenly you get this incredible feeling, and especially when you get the hang of it, food is just so nice and can be so cheap if you do it right as well, you know.
It's one of those few times in life where you get a chance to make a drastic change that actually aligns with who you are as a person.
Yeah.
As children, we wouldn't have dreamt of.
I got one of the hot ones. A lot of wasabi on that one.
Animals being this happening to them for us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, grew up on turkey twizzlers, you know.
And all these happy like bears, pastrami's, and that's a pig's body.
Yeah. But it's so hard. I mean, it's a lot easier now, but still socially, if your social group is not on board with it, it makes it social situations so difficult.
So are you saying you were vegan, but you got peer pressured out of being vegan?
It was more, it's going to sound weird, more to try and save my relationship at the time, as bad as that sounds, you know. But yeah, that's kind of why I ended up stopping, which I do regret now. And
it's bad. Understandable, but bad. Yeah. It sucks. It would suck to lose a cool relationship, but the animals, I mean, weighing up getting laid versus them dying. You can meet other people. It's not always the easiest thing for guys like me, but you know, it's okay. It's fine.
Something that I'd love to go back to because people don't seem to realize how enjoyable it is.
Knowing you're not paying for that to happen to them.
Yeah. And it's an incredible.
I mean, it's not look, being in a relationship, it's not the same as the pressure you might have trying to find a vegan marshmallow, for instance. Now we know that that's the mountaintop. That's the final boss. The vegan marshmallow. What's up, vegan marshmallow? He went back to being racist because all his family. Yeah, exactly. I get it. It's really hard. Right. Same, Calvin. I have that as well. Exactly. Sounds like your situation, Calvin, is similar to mine. I have a cool immediate family. They're very cool about it. I agree, Alicia. Yeah, he wasn't vegan, really. Because you just wouldn't, I mean, the way that we see veganism, you just don't turn your back on that for a relationship.
It's just, it's a much better feeling. And the stigma about it with cost and expense, if you make it yourself, it's so.
Credit to this guy for being completely honest and open. Sounds like he's a future vegan.
much cheaper, so much
Exactly.
better for everything in every single way, and the health benefits is unbelievable.
Probably a current one now.
People don't seem to think about the benefits. They seem to have this image that something is incredibly wrong with it.
I suppose we have to make it negative because if the more negative it is, the less.
You know what, guys? This We the Free 3-minute video challenge. I used it recently. I sent someone the 3-minute vid, and it worked. It actually worked. And sending someone a 3-minute video is a lot easier to get them to watch than sending them Dominion or Earthlings. So, yeah. So what is it? It's 3minutes.wtf. Use it if you need to. If you get the sense you're talking to somebody who's not interested in giving you more than a few minutes of time, that video is a good starter.
We have to contend with it.
Yeah.
Like brutal.
Do you think you could see this?
Basically, like all the main points from that I try to get people to see from Dominion anyway. So I will give people like, watch the first 15 minutes of Dominion. If you can get through that, you're probably going to get all the information you need, because that gets you up to the gas chambers. And then if you can watch through like minute 22, then you're going to see the male chick maceration. And that's how I would deal with it before. Because once you see, oh, okay, they treat pigs this way, okay, I'll stop eating meat. Oh, they grind up baby chicks, okay, I can't eat eggs. Then just explain to them how dairy works. By that point, they don't want to see anything more. They're like, fuck it, I'll go vegan just to not see this.
There's a sign today that you're saying, I want to get back into it, I want to try again. Like, do you think you can come away from this and this can be the reset button, as it were?
Pretty sure it's 3minutes.wtf. Just type that into your browser, 3minutes.wtf.
Definitely, if I'm honest. Yeah. Because I'll be honest, I didn't know it was that brutal, that bad. I mean, like I say, I saw the Netflix documentaries and movies probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and that's why I turned first time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't realise it was quite that bad. Especially gas chambers. You instantly go back.
And that's so humanely stunned.
Especially probably about 4 or 5 years. I saw the. To be honest, I didn't know it was that. Definitely, if I'm honest. Yeah. Because I'll be honest, I didn't know it was that brutal, that bad. I mean, like I say, I saw the Netflix documentaries and movies probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and that's why I turned first time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't realise it was quite that.
So he saw things like Game Changers, Cowspiracy, Seaspiracy, maybe. And and then he went plant-based. Those films, I feel like they get people close, but until you've seen the brutality, it's I really feel, I don't know who should do it. Maybe me. Someone needs to get on the phone with Netflix and pester them incessantly to get them to put one of these, either Earthlings or Dominion, on Netflix. And I know there's different regions, so I don't know. Like, maybe it's on Netflix in some parts of the world, but in America it is not. And I just feel like nobody's going to seek out Dominion or Earthlings. You got to type it in. But if you're scrolling around on Netflix or Prime or whatever thing, and you see this compelling looking photo or whatever, thumbnail, then you might click on that, and we'd have a lot more people going vegan.
Bad, especially gas chambers. You instantly go back.
And that's so humanely stunned.
Someone do that, because honestly, I feel like it seems like an annoying task. Trying to talk to some faceless corporation that probably you can't even get through to. You probably end up talking to a machine for like 3 hours before you can even reach a person. So I don't want to do it. And I know it won't go anywhere, because I think they were trying to get Dominion on Netflix originally, and it didn't work. So, because it was too bloody. But we should try again. Maybe there's new people.
Yeah.
I do think there is an easy way to request a film. So maybe let's Google that. How to request a film to go on Netflix. Something like that.
Yeah, which
Exactly.
is savage.
And imagine saying, you're referring to a thing that happened a few decades ago. Imagine if I turned around and said, well, that was a humane way to kill those people. Like,
Yeah,
It's like, well, the thing would be like, you killed them. That's
Yeah.
the whole problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say to the animals in this current position if you had the chance to now and they could understand you, you could understand them? What would be the first words you say to these animals who are farmed?
I'll take them home if I'm honest. That'll be one of the big things.
Yeah, I know that story, Calvin. And yeah, it's probably a combination of the both, but probably more the religious stuff is my guess. Yeah. I know, which is a shame because now I feel like not that many people are watching it. Although I don't know. I don't know what the numbers are. Apparently, Alicia. Apparently. Netflix is cooked, doggo. They have advertisers now, do they? I haven't watched in a while. If they do, I mean, a lot of them do. I mean, Prime does.
Because nothing should feel like that. Nothing should have that kind of, because it's I don't know if it's fear, but it's definitely confusion. And in that, having that kind of feeling in the last points of your life, it must be absolutely awful. And yeah, I don't think I'd have words for them, if I'm honest. If someone facing that, there's nothing you can say, and the only thing, like I say, I want to take them home.
Look after them and know
That's
they're
it.
safe.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Inherently, we want animals to be safe.
Yeah.
We want to protect them.
Yeah.
But we do everything but.
Yes. Yeah.
We think
yeah.
your flesh tastes nice, so I'm going to put you in a sandwich. Or I really like that I can use you in experiments, so I'm going to test on you. Like,
I'm going to speed these videos up a little bit because I have a time limit today. Let me just. I don't like 1.5 though. It just sounds too unnatural.
stuff like that, and it should never have happened.
No.
And yeah, as you say, that you think it's like confusion. We can tell that these animals, they writhe in fear. I mean, we saw some things here with their eyes wide open. That there is confusion.
Yeah.
And they show all these signs of just not wanting to be in that situation that we put them in.
Yeah.
So I'd be excited to. If I ever saw you in future again, you say, I went vegan again that day, I haven't looked back, and no relationships stopped me.
Yeah, I think you might. Yeah.
Can you explain what it is that you just saw for those 3 minutes?
Some pretty graphic stuff about animal cruelty and their suffering, which is quite sad to watch, really.
Truth behind what happens behind closed doors.
Yeah. Was there a moment there in particular that stood out to you?
Well, I mean, the bit where males are considered just not useful, so they're killed.
They sex them and then they kill them. Yeah. And that's horrific that we could just see them in this light of, oh, you cannot produce for us, therefore you can be put in the bin, they're gassed.
Not right.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to sit through, really, and it's quite upsetting.
Have you ever seen an animal who's farmed in person, like a pig, a cow, or chicken? Have you ever had a chance to interact with them?
Not physically in person, but it's shown, say, through Clarkson's farm. It's shown sort of, but they don't show what happens afterwards.
Isn't it funny though, when they talk about things that are happening on Clarkson's farm where an animal's been killed or they're suddenly not there in the next season, people are outraged. They are really upset. And it's just this is what a farm is. The animals don't get a chance. They live fractions of their lifespan. It's completely shortened down for us. And
Right, Calvin? Yeah. When Seaspiracy came out and it was in the top 10, I would put it on my Netflix when I left the house and just left it running. I don't know if that helped their numbers, but I was like, keep this film in the top 10. Let's go. Yeah, that was exciting. It stayed in there for a long time. And I was looking at charts every day. They put a daily chart too by country. It stayed in the top 10 in America for a while, in Canada, UK. And you could like even look by country. It stayed there for a while. And I mean, it's wild because you'd see all the countries like all over the world. It'd be like number 8 somewhere, it'd be number 3 somewhere else. But UK was probably the number 1 country for it. What's up, Nilf? I don't know. Everybody asks me, where's Mary? Where's Mary? I don't know. I can't account for. I know. She does. How dare she? She didn't even show up yesterday. Outrageous. Outrageous. Like at all. Nonsensical. She put herself in the timeout. I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I'm sure you've had an experience then with non-farmed animals, typically in the West, such as dogs and cats. Have you had experiences with them? Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's almost an epiphany. It was to me that they have personalities. I don't know what it was like for you.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, there's someone behind there. It's not just, a human experiencing the world and everyone else around is just a thing, we are animals too. So it would follow that everything we experience, our sadness, our fear, they too can. Yeah. 100%. What would you say to a farmed animal who you've maybe recently, assuming you're not vegan, if you had a chance to talk to them, like say a dairy cow if you've consumed dairy, a chicken if you consumed a KFC burger, what would you say to them in that moment if they could understand you?
I mean, I'd apologise for everything that's happened, how they get used, and even apologise for family members and stuff like that, because I believe animals do have emotions and they have as much feelings as humans.
Yeah, it could arguably be the case that they can feel more because they're more primitive in their instincts are there. So that allows us to potentially feel more. So everything that you just saw them experience, they're doing in perpetuity.
Seems to me that this event was very effective for the people who showed up.
Billions of these animals. Yeah.
I think it's quite shocking, like how certain media portrays them as like quite happy, and then the long and short of it is they're just used primarily for economy, and it doesn't really matter about their feelings.
Exactly. You go into a supermarket and then you walk in, you see the meat aisle, the dairy aisle. Suddenly there's a picture of an animal and they look free range, happy. And it's obviously, if we're consuming this many animals, I mean, it would just be terrible to let them be free range and then shoot them in the head. It wouldn't really make much difference. But, if everyone's consuming these animals, they've got to go in these tight sheds anyway. Like, it's like they're not showing what happens in the majority of cases because, like, mathematically, it has to be the case. It feels so horrific that they can lie blatantly to us. We'll buy it and then they'll die. Yeah. Have you heard of veganism? Yes. Yeah?
I've heard of it, yeah, but for me at least, like my perspective on it is...
Vegans have the lowest BMI of any group. Yeah, which, shouldn't be a shock, right? People eating healthy fruits and vegetables, grains. Yeah, we've watched a lot of videos from this event, so it was also just a great event for the activists. So many people too. Right. So many. We the Free ran the event. Yeah, it was, I haven't been doing it on this one, but
it's a very positive.
I've been watching these videos and just pointing out activists, prominent activists in the background.
Thing, but it's because of how
all these
uncommon it is,
videos.
it's quite expensive, and that's not achievable for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, if I can give you my experience, so I've been vegan for 11 years, forever poor. I went vegan as a student, and I don't know if you've been a student, but it's a very, money's tight. And I had £5 to live on some weeks, and I really thought coming into it that it would be this expensive thing, but then I forgot how many things are accidentally vegan, like sweets, pasta, beans, rice, nuts. And obviously, if you want a cut of a cow and they're like Wagyu or they're prime, I've seen down the aisles, it's really expensive. Like food is just, if you're low income, that you just work within your budget, or sometimes maybe you just say no and go without. And that's the cost. The way I would say is I could spend £5 right now and kick a dog, or I can spend £7 right now and not kick a dog. Which one would I do? It's the analogy sound there. It's I can pay for an animal to be stabbed or their babies to be taken away from them, or I don't do that. And
Exactly. Like, yeah, you see something we'll say pounds, 7 pounds versus something that's 5 pounds. And one of them is vegan and the more expensive one is vegan. Just ask them, would you, if I was about to kick or, slice the throat open of this animal right in front of you, do you think you'd hand me those 2 pounds? I think you would.
And if you can do that calculation in your head and then you're comfortable with the answer, I think going forward you can do an action that you're more comfortable with and aligns with who you are as a person. Yeah.
I should take a trip. Wayne's getting married. Wait, I think it happened. It already happened. I was invited. It was nice. We were all his activist friends were invited, but I didn't make it over. But yeah, I've never been to Europe. I've been to 3 countries in Asia, but I have not been to Europe, Africa, Australia. I've got a lot to see. I still have a lot to see. Yeah, I would like to. Maybe I should have done it. There was a lot going on here though. Okay. Okay, I've got a little more than an hour. So if I don't interrupt too much, we can get through this video. But we might have to cut it short. All right. This is our friend, 40-year-old vegan, and Melon Steve. Sounds good, Calvin. All right, have a good night. Yeah, I'll send you a message and we'll set something up. That'll be great. That will complete. That'll be a whole series. That's awesome. Thanks for joining, Calvin. It's really great to see you. All right, have a good night. Yeah, I'll try to visit Europe at some point. All right, so this is our friend David, 40-year-old vegan, was just hosted by Mel and Steve. Yeah, let's check it out. Just real quick before we start, I just want to shout Mel and Steve out for supporting all these channels and getting this project live stream going. Because it's launching channels now. 40-year-old vegan, I think he was already, somewhat established and everything, but we're getting all these small channels, getting them up to 50 subscribers so that they can do lives, and that takes a lot of effort to organize people. It takes a lot of personal touch, reaching out, following up, all that kind of stuff. It's not easy to do, so huge gratitude.
Seen things.
You have broken YouTube vertical life.
Like, you have to do something. There's no more noble cause, in my opinion, than to stand up for those who are oppressed.
Something really amazing happened on your live stream. It was magical, actually, to witness.
When I walked up that day, it almost like ignited something in me. Like, this could be a real game changer.
I want to ask you why.
Yeah, why, David? I want to ask you all the 5 W's, David. Who, what, when, where? But most importantly, why? Why, David?
We are super lucky to have David on the channel today. He is an ex-slaughterhouse worker who is now standing at the other side of the gate.
What up, Neil? Did I say hi to you, Nil? If I didn't, hello. Jenny McQueen. Yes, Jenny McQueen is a legend of animal rights activism.
Fighting for the animals.
Thank you guys so much for having me on. I've seen you guys from afar, and then I got to meet you guys, and then we've been working on some stuff together. So it's truly a pleasure to be hanging out with you guys today.
I want to ask you why? Why did you come so passionately to join Project
Oh,
Livestream?
she asked it really nicely. I would have been like, why? But why, David? Maybe I should start doing interviews with people where I'm just like abnormally and unreasonably hostile for no reason. Wouldn't that be kind of funny? That'd be kind of like, you go into that restaurant where they're like purposely mean to you. I think it's called Dick's. And you do it for the experience. Go there and have shit talked about you. I don't know why, but I feel like that'd be kind of funny.
Well, yeah, I think like the vigil part. I mean, I just remember so many times witnessing new people come into the movement and seeing how much they took from the vigil and how it inspired them to like really get active and really take it seriously. Because you're seeing like these innocent victims in these like death trucks, and you want to do something about it. You feel like you have to do something, and I think it just empowers people. You guys started doing the live streams. I saw that chip guy, I saw the vegan sign guy, I saw yourselves hitting massive amount of people, massive amount of views. And I thought, wow, like I can't do that when I just go to a vigil and hold a sign. And even when I
actually kind of like that they're using music just because it sort of sets it apart. We've got a lot of podcast interview style stuff right now, including like me doing it. And it's hard to get, it's set apart. Maybe it's a little distracting. I'm not sure. But I like that they've thrown some editing onto it.
record myself and post a video, I can't really do that. And I just remember a number of years ago, I tried going live and doing the lives on YouTube, and it just never hit like it is today. So wow, it's just been incredible.
That's a really important thing to note, that we have to jump on what's working right now. And as a collective group of animal rights activists, it's great when someone has found what's working at that moment and they just can sort of wave a flag and say, guys, like, this is what's working, this is hot right now. And then sort of the activists assembling around whatever that may be, whatever medium that may be, and optimizing it for the animals. And that's exactly what Project Livestream is all about.
Well, that's what I love about you guys, is you guys are constantly evolving. Like you guys, move to the street outreach, a lot of it's hitting, sometimes it's not, but you guys are always looking to evolve. And myself as well, like I know my street advocacy has changed. I joined We the Free, and I really like the method, the idea of people being, able to like be told about the footage, that it's explicit, that we have a children's version, and to inspire people how to do street advocacy. But I think
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know there was a children's version.
next level is
Nice.
just getting out there on our own, having the courage to speak to a camera, to speak to a live audience, and again, like you said, evolve. I think that's really important, Steve.
Yeah, and I love that you touched on that as well, because there are incredible organizations within the animal rights movement who really support one another to get involved. But you touched on something that resonates a lot with us, is like those events happen every so often. Maybe.
Yeah, Jake, that's what Calvin was saying. I think Calvin was actually there. I asked him, I can't remember what he answered.
monthly, maybe weekly, wherever you are, it changes. But this is the
Taking
power, right,
photos, maybe.
of taking your phone and going out on your own or with somebody else whenever you can, as much as you can, and optimizing that so much. So this is why we really wanted to do Project Livestream. We wanted to encourage individuals to believe in themselves, to understand that we each hold the power to liberate the animals and get animal rights by just constantly hitting these industries as hard as we can. And by taking your phone, taking our powerful weapon with us, can just optimize this so much. So I want to ask you, how did it feel going to a slaughterhouse, maybe with you or Jenny McQueen, the amazing Jenny McQueen with you? How did you both feel going out and doing that?
Yeah, like I think I took encouragement off of Jenny, and like we've done the live streams before, but just in shorter bursts, maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe when a truck came, and in just a short sequence rather than speaking for a long time. And just to your point, like you mentioned earlier, Mel, like we're all relatable to somebody. I might hit an audience that, like likes me for a certain way that I am, or maybe doesn't like me, but at least they're watching. And same with you, same with Steve, same with so many other people. Like we all have a different, unique perspective, and that's what's great about this. So when Jenny and McQueen and I went, like I told her about this idea, and I told her how it was really popping off because you guys are like just doing an incredible job. And I said like this could be a real game changer. So I went out, I did my first one. I think I had 160 views or something like that. And I was like, yes, this is great. I decided to do a second one, hit 2,000 views. Then I went up to 10,000. That was our first project live stream. And you guys segued that perfectly while speaking to other people that were at slaughterhouses. And then I went on to do my stream. I think, that's obviously why I got so many views. And, the next one was 2,000. So like, where am I going to get that kind of viewership? I'm not. And so it was kind of a little bit more natural for Jenny, I would say, because she's done so many live streams before. For me, obviously I have to talk about things that maybe I'm a little bit uncomfortable with as far as my past. Like you guys mentioned, I'm an ex-slaughterhouse inspector. I work for the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. I've seen things, right? And, there's a lot of triggers at this place. So I think, to be honest, like that day, especially when I had the large viewership, I think it just all came out. I think it came out in the perfect method, the mode. I don't even, like, it wasn't even hard to me because I just felt so empowered. And I think because other people are doing it, like you guys across the world, I feel that support. And I don't know, like, had I gone on my own, that I would feel that kind of support. Or even if I gone on my own and then not known that you guys were doing it or somebody else across the world was doing it. If I was doing it myself, maybe I'm sort of this radical kind of guy, but because you guys are doing it and, I asked Jenny to come along and I've done it on my own since, like, it just feels like second nature. So I think that can resonate with people who are really hesitant or worried about putting on their phone. It's actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. Yeah.
I think you hit on some.
Yeah, the only problems that I've encountered this, and now I used to have an old phone, but anytime that I've been at a slaughterhouse and tried to do a live, the signal has been so crap that people, I don't even think, could understand what I was doing or where I was because it was just locked up, frozen. I've only tried it a few times though, and this is a while back. So like I said, I had like probably inadequate phone at the time. But that can be an issue. That can be like kind of a buzzkill, especially if that was the goal of the event. But I didn't have this idea really of making a live stream sort of the point. I was just going out there. Yeah.
Really awesome points as well, and I think this is another power that we have when we use social media, social platform with our advocacy, is we have the ability to tune it in. And the first time we do something, it's not always right, and sometimes it feels awkward in front of a camera. And the first time you hear your voice back, you think, "Do I really sound like that? Like, do I really look like that?" And there's all this. It's like super alien, isn't it, to begin with? But like by being consistent and tuning yourself in,
I know it is like sometimes very painful to watch my videos back because I have to see myself. I'm used to hearing myself now, having spent so long in radio. That part doesn't bug me, but now with video, seeing myself, yeah, it's a different experience. Humbling experience, unfortunately. Some people are made for this. I was made to do radio.
You have these days like you had the other day where you smashed like 100,000 views. That's incredible. Like, could you even imagine when 100,000 people stood outside of the slaughterhouse looking at the animals going in? It's an incredible.
Yeah, Neil, that would be great.
Achievement. And like you've tuned in, and like you said, that day, like the universe just came together and you found your rhythm and you found your voice and everything just lined up and you were optimizing your triggers in a way to like utilize it for the animals, and it just worked. So anyone trying this, if you go to the slaughterhouse and you get 2 people in your room and there's 2 people, don't think, I haven't got the 100K, I haven't got the 30K, I haven't got this. You've got 2 people to a slaughterhouse. There's 2 more people that didn't go the day before. And then you're going to optimize and you're going to reevaluate what worked well with that live stream. The energy worked well, the position worked well, the fact the audio was good, the fact that the signal strength was good. And you find these things, we tune them in and it optimizes. And I think that that's a really important thing to remember. Don't be discouraged, even if you just get 2 people. Keep going because it's 2 more. And at the end, like, we've got to remember, this advocacy is we're taking people to a slaughterhouse, live right there. It's undeniable. The victims are literally staring back, and these are their last moments, on this planet because of what we're doing to them. It's powerful. It's powerful activism.
And Steve, like you hit on, like you were mentioning so many great points there. It's like, for me, I think I was most ecstatic, honestly, about the 165 views that I got. I was like, wow, like because years ago I did it. I think I maybe got 5, and I was still happy with that. Don't get me wrong. I was pleasantly happy. I just felt like my time was valued more so elsewhere. But 165, and it went up to 200, and I was just over the moon by it because I thought, wow, if I can just change a certain percentage of people's minds on that. And then 2, it's like, it's a lot different when you go to a slaughterhouse because, like you said, it's so personalized. You see the victims, you see them right there in front of you, and it's like.
I also really like the way that David does it. Well, all of them. I mean, Mel and Steve do this. Like I said, I was really impressed by Alex, who also was doing his during Project Livestream, because they didn't really bother with the trolls and kind of just narrated what they were seeing. Almost like they were like sports commentators, like, here's what's going on here, here's what's going on. Alex especially was kind of like I imagine him doing like football matches, right? Like he just has that kind of delivery. But there's a lot of distraction in these chats with trolls going nuts, which is why it's nice when you have some actual activists in the chat, just to like either to battle the trolls and troll them back, which is what I do, or just showing a little bit of solidarity.
I don't know if it's euphoria or something hits where, and I think maybe Mel and I were talking about this before, is like,
and thinking,
there's this build up to going to the slaughterhouse. You feel anxious, you feel this.
We're humans, we're social creatures. Sometimes you'll do activism and you'll be like, well, who even saw this? Did anything happen? So even just saying a thank you is meaningful.
Feel that. But when you're there expressing, fighting for them, speaking for them because they can't defend themselves, it changes you. It resonates with you so hard, and you'd be surprised how much you can bring to that live stream, to that person who's watching behind the camera, and perhaps you can inspire the next person to do that, or maybe even change, or maybe go vegan, or at least plant some seeds to inspire others. And like you said, it doesn't have to be like, wow, I was very lucky to hit that number that day. It can be 100, it could be 50. If I have 50 people in a room right here with me right now, like we've done video shoots here, and I've been able to draw in people to bring. I think I brought in 30 people for the Christspiracy video, and I was so proud. I was just like, oh my God, I brought all these people here. Like, I did so great. Like, imagine that many people in your live stream. Those are individual people watching. So I think you're spot on, Steve.
Yeah, a million percent. Like you said, even if there's one person extra, that's one extra person seeing what is happening to the animals, and that is so powerful. I think there's something about seeing those innocent eyes looking outside of the truck, and the people on the live stream are seeing their eyes for themselves. And what we're doing is just educating those people if they're asking questions, telling them what is happening to the animals.
I can tell I'm going to run short on time.
before they go in. And we've seen a lot of instant change. We've also had messages after from people saying they go vegan, but we've also had activists message us thanking us because like going to a slaughterhouse, I know for me and Steve, it's actually something we said we didn't think we could ever do because we thought it would just mentally mess us up so much. We thought we'd probably end up in prison for something that we're going to do. We didn't think we'd be able to handle basically, like, we thought we'd stand in front of the trucks and not let any trucks in. Like, that's what we want to do and that's what we still want to do. But it's something that we never thought we could ever do. And when we did go, like you said, it did change us. It made us better activists, I'd say, especially for myself, because I get very nervous and very anxious talking to people and doing outreach. And Joey Carlstrom once said that you change as an activist when you go to a vigil, and it stuck with me. So I remember thinking, like, look, for the animals, we've got to do it. We'll do anything for the animals. And the first time we ever went, we saw those poor animals going in, and we caught eye contact, didn't we, with the cows going in. And I just remember thinking, like, nah, nothing is ever going to stop me speaking up for you. I made a promise to those animals that day that I'll never let fear get in the way. And I become a stronger person for that, because when I feel anxious and nervous, I remember them, and I remember that we can achieve so much more when we always remember the animals. And yeah,
kind of what Mel is saying. If you have like an interaction with one animal that you haven't like this impactful moment with, and you make that animal a promise, that's going to like really hold you to account. So if you feel like struggling to again hold yourself to account and being like, yeah, I got to get out there for these animals, then maybe make a promise, right, to an animal. Because I heard her say it. I had Tom Harris on. Tom Harris from the UK Shack campaign gave me this powerful clip. It's one of my favorite that I've made, was because he was telling the story of being in this facility with the dogs. And I love this story because he's like, I made sure I stood at the back so that when the cops came in, they had to walk past all the dogs to arrest me. And he describes this moment that he had with one of the beagles in there, and he made a promise to that dog, and it ends with like, yeah, I intend to keep my promise to that dog. So the job not being done. Yeah, so
the activists who were messaging were saying, look, I didn't think I could go to a slaughterhouse, and you've given me a bit of a peek into what it will be like, so I can start prepping myself to go. So yeah, we went from saying we can never go, now we're going every single week as much as we can to expose, because it's just so optimal and powerful to expose these hellholes for.
What's up, Jason? Yeah, I know, it doesn't show. She doesn't seem nervous. It's kind of like, because Mel is has like one speed, and that's go. She is like the Energizer Bunny.
The animals, not only does it put pressure on the slaughterhouse workers, not only does it put pressure on the farmers, it's like they can't get away from the pressure of activists. They hate it. The slaughterhouse workers hate it. They
wonder
freak
if
out when we arrive. We really affect them when we arrive. And then people are going vegan on the live stream.
I wonder if these two even sleep. I can't even picture it.
It's just been super, super optimal. And this is why we encourage
Too much
more and more
energy.
people to do
I
this.
can't picture
I
it.
want to ask you, did you find it hard going live? Was the process hard? And how did you feel being in front of the camera, seeing people come into the room? Did it take a while for you to get used to that? Talk us through how you kind of felt on the lead up to it and
oh my
doing it
God.
yourself.
Well, you bring up so much there, Mel, and it's so true.
Whoa.
It's so real in the moment, and I think that's one thing that I took as well, and I can totally speak to that. It's like you've got like a child doing something wrong. You see their face is red, they're walking away, like, what did you do? What were you up to? That's what it's like going to
gonna make me
slaughterhouse.
cry.
People just
This
start
was
to lose
Bobby.
their mind, because I feel like they know deep down inside, whether they, or maybe they don't know, maybe it's just cognitive dissonance coming out. And I've seen it time and time and time again when I go to slaughterhouses, when I've seen vigils and stuff, just people reacting in these crazy ways. And yeah, back to like the actual stream itself. I think we were talking about it a bit earlier. For some of us, like, we aren't used to the camera. This is not a normal thing for us, right? We're just learning how to speak. And I still remember back to some of the first podcasts I did, or the first interviews I did, the build up to it, the anxiety, even speaking out in front of people. Like, I have a little bit of dyslexia, so I'm just worried I'm going to trip over my words if I'm reading a speech. But like you said, Mel, when you look into their eyes, it's like, what matters at that point? Does your ego matter? Does it matter what you look like? Does it matter, that you might have a pimple here or something? Like, it really, like, I think everybody, mostly
Right.
the people that actually matter, that are on the stream with you, that actually matter, are there rooting for you. Whether you say a wrong word, whether you do something right, whether, the camera turns too sharply, like, nobody really cares. It's how you, and Jen for We the Free has said it so many times, it's how you left the people feeling in that moment.
Sometimes I just look straight up stupid, and that maybe that's just me looking back at some of my old stuff, but I'm like, damn. But like David said, nobody gives a shit. They don't care. Everybody's just living their lives. They don't care how you look. I mean, it helps to look good, but you know, they don't really give a shit.
They resonated with you in that message. And there's nothing harder than what the animals experienced. Like you said, looking into their eyes and seeing that process. Like when I walked up that day, Mel and Steve, I walked up that day and I saw the slaughterhouse truck on the side of the road, and it almost like ignited something in me, because I was just trying to think of, okay, I have to set up the camera. It's hot out. Make sure I'm, behind the shade. Make sure the camera is covered so that way, it's not going to, burn out or something like that. I got to set up the tripod. I know Jenny's coming. And so like these things are in my mind. But once I saw the truck, I just went into, I need to go live right now. I went in and I put a little title with ChatGPT's help, like, whistleblower. And I wanted to put whistleblower in there because I thought maybe that would show the world what's really happening. And I do believe, like, I'm not just a whistleblower. I believe we're all whistleblowers. We're exposing this disgusting industry for what it is. And yeah, so I just kind of went into a mode, like I changed, I shifted. It didn't really matter about optics at that point. Of course, I want you guys to be able to hear me.
I really like that Jake Plant Geezer called himself a journalist. I wonder if that's after our interview too, because I was telling him how like you're doing the work that journalists like claim to do, like you're the real journalist. And then the next video I saw with him, he was like, the jogging journalist here. So yeah, whistleblower, journalist, God, we can't overstate how amazing we are, right? Cannot be overstated. So if you feel compelled to write, God visits slaughterhouse, probably will get some clicks.
And see me properly. But I think the message was just the strongest point. I wore this shirt as well, so I don't know if that had something to do with the massive amount of views coming in. But yeah, I mean, at some point, of course, I felt like I lost my voice. But I think that's normal. I think that just shows I care, shows people care when they lose their voice, or maybe they mistrip their words, or they get a little intimidated or unsure. Like we all have each other to reach out to help each other with that process. And really, it isn't that scary. Although, like when you start seeing the
and the moments of imperfection are often the most compelling moments of a video or stream or whatever. It's when someone is not, not perfect. It's funny, as I said that, I had a little bit of like wasabi in my throat and it cracked my voice. And I remember this Willie Nelson track that he did where it's just a beautiful song. I have to think of the name of it. He didn't write it. Anyway, the whole like the powerful moment in the song is when his voice cracks. He's got that beautiful voice. Yeah, anyway.
Numbers go up. It was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. So it was like because I think the last stream I had about 100 and something people watching prior. With the 10,000 watching, 100 and maybe 200, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of people staring at my face, like. But again, it's like, who cares? Like, I look the way I look. Like, it doesn't, it doesn't matter. And then with this stream, it was just like, at one point, because I was so in tune with what I was talking about, I looked up, it said 300 and then 350, 400. I'm like, okay, breathe, you got this. People are watching because you're keeping that energy level up and you just keep talking. And I think I just kind of went, I told people where I was consistently. I think you gave me that idea, where I was, what I was doing, what I was exposing. And I just kept going over that. And that really helped me not get too far off track. Because I think you can just go into storytelling and then maybe if you're not a great storyteller, maybe people will leave. But if you stay on track, stick focused to what you're talking about, the chat's going to talk about whatever it is going to talk about. And then, yeah, just 600, 700, 800, 900, and 1100. I was just like, how is this even happening? Like, and my only thought was I have to keep this energy up and I have to go for as long as I can until the stream, like, I don't know what happened. It just stopped. And I don't know if I hit the ceiling or whatever it was, but yeah, I was actually more upset that it stopped than thinking about what numbers it could have been. I didn't even know at that point. And it wasn't until I started up my next stream that I saw the numbers and I was like, there's no way. Like,
oh, that's too bad. So he got up to like 100K and then the stream like crashed. That's too bad. Maybe it was going up and up and up. Could have hit 10 mil. 10 mil.
That was great.
yeah, and like you kept your energy for 3 hours straight. I was there watching it because we were getting excited behind, like, oh my gosh, there's many people in the room.
We were actually pinging the live out to activists, and they were sending us screenshots back, and they were getting a message saying room's full. Like, we can't get into that live. Like, you had broken YouTube's vertical lives.
He broke it.
Seized shut.
Yeah,
He broke the internet. He broke the internet that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you made some really awesome.
Maybe that was a day that I was trying to do a live stream, and even my power went out. My power flickered because of David.
Some points there, David, and I definitely resonate exactly how you feel. We can overthink these things on approach and in the moment, but then the minute we see the animals, it's like super laser focused work mode comes on, and no matter, you could be like bursting for the toilet, like about to like have an accident, and all of a sudden it just seems to just disperse, and you can just focus on what you need to do, and you get out there and you do it, and you do it so well. I think a really important point as well for anyone when you're looking at online activism, this form of activism, right? You don't need to know how to edit. You don't need to know how to use like complicated software. You don't even need to make a thumbnail if you don't want to.
You know, oftentimes I think maybe I'll just go live at home, and you know, like there's distractions, there's other things going on, but when you're there, it's sort of like a laser focus, like you had mentioned. So I don't want to like for people to think that it's just this barrier, this tough thing. Like I'm just a regular guy. I go there, I put my tripod down or whatever and put the camera on, and like you said, it's you hit live, you're on there. And the best part about it for someone like me is I'm not an editor. Like I don't know how to do that. If I get editing help, I go somewhere else. You know, usually you got to pay for that. But with that stream, it goes.
Once you're live, a switch flips in your brain, and you're like, oh, okay, well, here we are. And having done years and years and years of radio work, I can tell you when I would record something in a studio for playback later, a lot of times I'd have to do take after take because something about knowing that you're not live where you're thinking, oh, I've got to get this perfect. I've got to get this inflection right. And then we'd be live, you know, I'd do something, go live, and it goes just fine. Because the switch flips. Also, I take that lesson. I think the best lesson, I mean, radio was a good teacher of this, but also the playing music that I have learned that it's fine to make mistakes and no one cares. And also to take your time. So like with live reaction videos, some people might not like what you're doing, but who cares? Same with if you're live out at a slaughterhouse. You don't have to fill every moment with your voice. You can gather your thoughts and look around and say and ramble and be annoying and fuck up everything and not know when to hit unpause like I'm doing right now. You can do all those things. Interestingly, yesterday we were doing a live stream and my buddy Victoria was here, and that was very cool. Always love when Victoria's in the stream. And we were talking about Earthling Ed, and something was like, we should go live with Earthling Ed someday. We were joking. And she said, but yeah, he probably couldn't do that. Oh, Earthling Ed could do live, you know, very easily. Very easily. But the point being, like, anybody, literally any person, unless you have like crippling anxiety or something, you can be live.
Straight, it's still pretty decent quality afterwards, and then you just have it. You don't have to worry about anything super complicated. So yeah, I think just trying is the big thing. Get out there and try. I don't think you're going to regret it, because look, if you get one person to change, I've estimated between 5,000 and 10,000 animals won't have to go to a slaughterhouse. You just get one person to change, you know, and who knows if they become an activist, who knows if they change other people. But I mean, think about that. Like, that's a lot of lives, or no matter what, just by speaking up and planting a seed somewhere, 1, 2.
And who cares if you try something and you fail? Nobody. You'll know it.
5 people, and you don't even have to put your face on there either. And you could just, like you said, Steve, you can say, I'm at a slaughterhouse, this is what I'm doing. And I think because there's a lot of viewers coming in, they want to know immediately what you're up to. If they just see you standing there kind of talking a little bit, but there's no context, I mean, it's a great opportunity for you to invite them in to join what's going on.
Yeah, 100%. And for anybody who is watching, we are doing YouTube live streams because all you need to go live on YouTube is 50 subscribers. So what we have done we have created a group on Instagram where if you create a YouTube channel, we take your link and we put the link into this group full of about 160 activists, and they can go and subscribe to your channel so you could go live like within the next few days. So it's like really fast. And with YouTube as well, it feels like it happened with you. You can pop through the algorithm and reach thousands of people. And even if you get 2 people that day, the video can still get uploaded and it will reach even more people. The other thing we can do as well is screen record certain sections of live streams and put them on other platforms. Like I know you and Jenny did one the other day that's reached over 100,000. Is that right?
I think we're at 200,000 now. Close to
Wow.
200,000. It's continuing to go. So, and it's all from that day, you know. Yeah.
That's incredible. I also wanted to bring up something really amazing happened on your live stream. Somebody saw your live stream and actually came and joined you because you were live. Talk us through this. That was an incredible thing to witness. It was magical actually to witness.
Yeah, I was again like
We know who that
you know what
was.
the outcome's gonna
We know who that was, don't we, guys?
be, and you're not anticipating that that's going to happen, especially from someone who's new. And you know, I've seen this person online before. They're in the online community space, and they asked me where I was. I explained where I was, and I didn't think much was going to happen because of that. And then I think sometime later in the stream they said they're coming to meet me, and I'm like, oh, okay. You know, I was like shocked. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, absolutely, come down, right? I wasn't sure how long they were going to take.
Y'all know who that is? That's our buddy Alicia.
We had been out there for a bunch of time, but it was great because I was actually in the shaded area at that point because I think my live stream had broken down. But yeah, they walked right up, and it was like such a magical moment. You know, tears in their eyes and explaining how horrific the smell was. Like that's the first thing I think we all notice when we go to these places is how absolutely hard the smell is. Just to encounter. She didn't even know where the place was originally when she got off the bus, and she could smell. That's how she got to the spot.
Wow.
And so she just went in to talk about how she became vegan. And what I found even more amazing was that she had been vegan for 9 months. She, you know, speaking about it a little bit here and there, but hadn't gone to an event, hadn't gotten active. And she felt like she had to be out there to speak for the animals, which was like, you know, you have that intuition. Sometimes you're just like, you're caught at work. Like I remember I used to be caught at work and I couldn't concentrate because I had to do something. And so that's what she did. She just came and did something, and magically 2 minutes after she had opened up to us, you know, tears were flying. There was somebody on a bike, and she went up to the person on the bike and she told people what was happening at the slaughterhouse. Like she did outreach immediately. And
Wow.
sometimes it takes people a little bit of time to get to that, but I was just over the moon, you know, over the moon.
Her passion just led her. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
it
was
was
really involved. I saw her as well. She went off and she was like, "David, come back! Like, we've seen body parts being tipped up. Like, come on!" And she was like, really, you could feel her
Engaged.
passion for which I thought was incredible because especially like again, she hasn't been vegan that long, and going to the slaughterhouse is not the first step for a lot of people, right? So I just remember thinking like, wow, this is incredible. All because
That
she
was
saw
huge.
you live and then wanted to be there. She was compelled to be there fighting for the animals with you, and you both welcomed her with open arms. It was so lovely to see, and it was like it looked like you'd all known each other for years. Was the way you welcomed her, and I thought that was really special.
Yeah, and that's what I love about this community, right? Like even you and I and Steve, like we have a relationship, and we don't live in the same area. We've met, you know, maybe face to face.
And your first activism, what a cool story for your first ever activism. First of all, with David and Jenny, badass already. And the fact that you're live and it's getting talked about on these, you know, somewhat larger channels like Mel and Steve. Awesome.
Once briefly. I don't even know if we really properly met there, but it's like we understand. We get it. We're under the same, you know, connection somehow, and people just get it when you move into this community. It's a wonderful community. Some parts are good, some parts aren't, but you know, like for the most part, when you're just speaking up for the animals and defending the animals, you'll find your crowd. And definitely that's what the whole point of Project Livestream is. The Instagram that you put together with so many people that are just like, how do I get started? What do I do? And to your point, like you only need 50 subscribers. We will get you those 50 subscribers, and you just go and put your camera on, and boom, you're off and running. And maybe you can hit that ceiling like I did. Then like I've gained, I don't know how many subscribers. I used to be at, I think 400 when I started this. Now I'm over 9. So of course that big live stream, I had, you know, almost 300 new subscribers, but the smaller streams, I was getting 20, 30, you know, new subscribers. So we can very easily probably get to that 1,000 mark. And I don't know if that unleashes more potential. So again, like one person, you know, we change one person and they take out 5,000 to 10,000 animals in that equation. We could change so many hearts.
And one thing it does, David, is if you have enough watch hours, you can get monetized too, which, you know, I hear it's not much. It's not going to be much, so don't expect a lot of money. But the closer that you can get to, like, just I'm a full-time activist because I'm supported. Yeah.
Mine's too.
100%, because the animals need saving. Like, this is an emergency for the animals. This, like, we're already behind. Like, we need this big change. And I remember, like, we were speaking and saying we need a tidal wave of change. The world has to change faster because it's going too slow. Like, and the fact that we can use this as a tool and a weapon to fight.
Also, if you did a live and you had 100,000 viewers, pretty sure you reached your watch hour time during that live as well.
For them is amazing. And I don't know if you found, but since doing this, I have seen such support and encouragement from other activists on everybody's live stream channels. It's been so lovely to see. I think if we make that standard, when people go vegan and they see people are only encouraging and supporting one another, that they're going to do that. So I think that's been really amazing to see.
On that point, how do you feel, David, when you're looking at your live stream and you're seeing the chats, and then them vegan activist names are popping up and commenting and in the discussions? How does that make you feel as, like, you're the individual that's braving the storm? You're right there. How does it feel to have them other activists named, the regular names that are coming in?
Well, there is the video. Guys, make sure you like it and subscribe to Mel and Steve if you're not. Also to 40-Year-Old Vegan. I don't want to just cannibalize their video watch time.
I mean, it's so wonderful. I really enjoy going at the end of my day, whatever I'm doing, and I see someone's online that's doing the exact same thing that we are, and it's just a wonderful community that way. And of course, we're going to receive the cognitive dissonance, guys. Like, I would say, don't worry about the hate comments and the trolls. This is part of change. This is exactly what we want. Part of change. People are going to see those comments and they're going to be like, well, I don't really want to think like that person. I definitely don't want to think like that person. So don't worry so much about that. But it definitely, when I see, you popping in there, like Jake, or who else did I see? Chip, like seeing all these people just pop in and even just the one comment, I'm just like, I got my back. My back's covered. I'm protected. I have all these people supporting me, and yeah, it feels wonderful. I mean, there's no better feeling than having that support. Yeah, it's a good feeling, actually.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Sent the link to 40-Year-Old.
It feels like a hug, doesn't it? I find when I see an animal, like, I want to touch on how you deal with what you have seen at a slaughterhouse afterwards. Does it stick with you? Have you found coping mechanisms? Because a lot of people who will be thinking about doing a live stream here may be worried about how they deal with these kind of emotions.
Such an important question. I know, like, oftentimes when you don't have that community surrounding you, sometimes you will go home and you'll feel depressed and sad about what's taking place. I like to look at it as a positive approach. We are on the front lines of change. We are making change happen. There's no more noble cause, in my opinion, than to stand up for those who are oppressed, and the animals don't have anybody fighting for them. Of course, it's going to take its toll. What I generally do is, like, when I go to an event, I'll listen to some good upbeat music. When I'm going to a vigil, I'll put on classical music, or I'll listen to a positive podcast, and I'll kind of put my headspace sort of outside of what's taking place.
I've done that too. Yeah. Well, sometimes when you feel like an intensity, just bury yourself in the headphones, put on what you need. I like they're talking about this whole community thing. That's kind of what this channel has been. Also just like a community. I do want it to reach non-vegans, but so far it's really just been us. And that's fine. Serving a purpose. MILF? Really? Well, I just realized that never mind. I don't know what I was thinking. See, like I just said, sometimes the stream just goes haywire because I started talking without a plan. There was no plan for what I was about to say.
So my therapist really helped me through certain.
Sometimes you find it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just got to bail on the thought that went nowhere.
Things, and I'm not saying that you need to go to one or get one, but maybe it could be worth it. But what they said was that the animals that are now no longer suffering. They're not going through that experience in that moment anymore. So oftentimes we might think about taking the weight of that on, but like the way she put it is that they're no longer experiencing that in that moment anymore. So what we're trying to do is defend the ones going inside. So we can kind of just take it from this point on now. that day. Nothing forward, but just in that moment. So yeah, I think it's important that we definitely look at things like grounding techniques. We need to take care of ourselves. I mean, you guys, Vegan Muscle, right? Like we need to eat right. We need to sleep right. We want longevity. We don't want activists burning out. We don't want people being in the movement just for 5 minutes and then going. We need people that are there for long-term fighting. I think this is why we do the events, once a month or something like that. But like, I encourage people to go there, get used to it, get comfortable with it. At some point, like, of course it's going to affect you. But again, these techniques, looking into what you can do. I mean, always have Google around saying, I'm feeling this way, but also too, you have a community to bounce these things off of. We're all around. You can reach out to me anytime. I'm sure people can reach out to you guys. So yeah, it can be tough at times for sure. The stream part is wonderful. We want people to get there, but we also want people starting their own craft, so to say. Like, YouTube streams can be something else as well. Obviously, we want you doing the project live stream. We want as many faces on, these slaughterhouses as possible. But maybe you learn a few editing techniques. Maybe you can do a reel. Maybe you can do a short. Maybe you can post to another platform. So there's many opportunities with the growth of social media, and we know how much social media has an impact. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like you touched on, like making those reels and getting footage from that day and spreading it further helps as well. Like, I always find I have to constantly be moving forward, because when I stop is when I'm like, that's when those emotions come in. But if you're constantly thinking like, look, we've done this today, we've reached this many people, when I get home, I'm going to make a reel from that live and I'm going to post it everywhere. So you make it as optimal as possible and constantly move this movement forward, and change more people, and you will change people. It's guaranteed. You will change people, and therefore animals will be like, they will have liberation faster because of your action that you have taken. And like you said, if you're feeling like, gosh, like this is heavy, you don't have to always do lives at slaughterhouses. The reason we're doing Project Livestream is to encourage people to get active on social media, to realize that live streaming is really optimal, whether that's at a slaughterhouse. But you can sit in the garden with a cup of tea and talk about what happens to the animals. You can go, sorry.
What we did the other day was really powerful, and this could be a good way to get used to it. We went to an animal sanctuary. You go to an animal sanctuary and you can sit around the animals and you could tell the live stream why these animals are no longer exploited. And it could be a really good way, in a positive way, to still be effective for the animals, but just tuning yourself in before you get into that high pressure situation.
Yeah, because our basically we're building this up. The reason we're focusing on slaughterhouses, we don't think they're focused on enough. And the slaughterhouse, when you're there and you see the animals, all the welfare crap goes out the window. When people say free range, factory farm, it's like, that doesn't matter, because you're seeing them here. You're seeing these big trucks and you're seeing these small holding trucks going into this place, and it's not a good place. So we find it really simplifies it down to like the injustice to the animals. But we are working this up monthly to do a massive live stream event around the world. We want as many people for this big international day being outside of as many slaughterhouses as we can, live streaming all at the same time. So we're building people up. So we're building an army of live streamers for this day. And
Really, doggo? Interesting. Is that the Thai restaurant? I know there's a Thai restaurant there, somewhere in South Carolina. I haven't been there. I've heard good things, though. Is that the place?
help them realize that they hold the power. They can do this too.
Well,
Like I said, whether it's a live stream, whether it's a sanctuary, whether it's when you're cooking dinner, there's so many things that you can do.
Well, yeah, I think people fall for the personality as well.
Yeah.
Like our friend Jake, he does the meal preps, and people love just tuning in. Maybe they put him on in the background. They just kind of love his style and what he's all about. And of course, like when you guys went to the sanctuary, it was the cutest thing ever. Like hanging out with these amazing animals, showing the individuals who they are. And yeah, if you're feeling low, I mean, there's so many different opportunities, is what we're saying. And again, like of course, this is only growing. Like we've seen it grow. Like if I can hit the ceiling there, imagine what other people can do. They can definitely hit further ceilings. And YouTube it feels like TikTok or YouTube is trying to steal TikTok's model, and it feels like we're taking advantage of that. Seeing all the amount of views on these streams is just incredible, and we need to take advantage of that opportunity now. We need to get all the cameras on the slaughterhouses now, and it's just going to blow up from there. It's we even have other influencers now taking on that model and doing that. Like Jamie Logan just herself, she just threw on the camera the other day and just left the live stream running. I know Tash and Jack I've gone out a few times, and again, like eventually, one of those is maybe going to kick to a massive amount of views. But even if it's a couple hundred or 1,000 or 2, it's absolutely people that are seeing this. They're going to resonate with it and possibly do the same. So
yeah, definitely. And you know what, we would often go to slaughterhouses and film with our camera for the day, and then we'd go home. I'd sit at the laptop for hours editing this video. You do the thumbnail, and then we'd post it, and we'd be like, oh, if we're lucky, maybe 2,000, 3,000 views, which is still great. But right. It's like, do I know if they're reaching anyone are they just reaching vegans? Is anyone who actually doesn't know watching this? Whereas the live streams, you don't have any of that. You can go 3 hours, put your phone up, and you reach just the general public straight away. And you can tell because when the trolls comments start coming in, you know you're reaching the right.
Not even the troll comments. It's even the what's this about?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Where are you? These comments are people who've landed. They've like that screen for whatever has made them stop for a second. They go, where is this? What's this stream about?
I think a lot of people have this idea that expressing or showing what takes place somehow is going to have a combative reaction. For people that are more experienced, for sure. Like I think, like myself, I'm going to push the limits a little bit more when I go to these places. I think I'm going to be a little bit more involved around speaking to employees, or maybe getting a little closer to the trucks. But for new people, I would say like you can just be as far back as you want to, showing what's going on, explaining it. You don't even have to engage with anybody. And even if somebody does come to you, you can just say, you know, you're filming here. Like it's within our rights in most places to be able to film and to stand there and talk about things. So it's really not as scary as one might think. Like I kind of reflect back to when I was told that I shouldn't.
Yeah. I'll just point out a lot. You know, you don't have to do it exactly the way they're doing it, because all these slaughterhouses are different, and some of them are so fortified, and some of them don't have a great spot for trucks that are stopping, that sort of thing. Different ones have different rules. In fact, I'm quite annoyed with one that's near me. I mean, it's a slaughterhouse, so obviously I'm annoyed with it. But I think at this point, I couldn't go with a group. I'd have to go solo, which is really annoying. But fine, it's whatever. Pretty unconstitutional, though. And then another one that's somewhat nearby. The best place to be is actually not with the slaughterhouse even in view. So you wouldn't even, I mean, you could walk up there, but the actual slaughterhouse, there's nowhere for you to get like the truck stops and stuff. So the best location is actually like out on this busy road for activists anyway. For different purposes, I don't know. I should stop rambling so much. I've got to kind of speed this up. So let's
talk about animal rights, or I shouldn't tell people what to eat specifically. And this was even by vegans. They said like you should just let people.
I would have to go solo because they instituted this ridiculously unconstitutional rule that people cannot gather where that is. Now, it could be battled, I'm sure, in court, but it would require time and resources to do that.
Maybe they're plant-based eaters. I don't know, but they're
you
like
could probably just defy it.
Do and like, you know, what's harder, like what the animals go through, or what you know, someone just thinks about what your opinion is. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. And a lot of this is just our ego. We're building up our ego. We're fearing. And
to be honest, for the purpose of what we're talking about, these live streams, solo is actually quite powerful. So I think I would, if I was to choose that particular place, I would just do that.
And two, like that anxiety that comes, you can turn that into excitement.
Yeah,
you can turn that into whatever you want it to be, but it is a natural thing to feel a little anxious, or you know, a little bit of whatever, because you care. It's only because you care that you're feeling these emotions. And you know, if you care a lot, if you feel like the animals are going through an injustice, I mean, how else are we going to stop this? How else are we going to end this injustice if we don't have just regular people like me and you guys and everyone else just saying a little bit of something? Like, you know, a couple hours a month, I don't see it as that difficult to do, especially if you're thinking about this all the time. You go to the grocery store, you see the body parts there, you hear the lies about how these animals are treated. You go home, you have relatives, friends, they know you're vegan, and yeah, I mean, that might all be a little bit uncomfortable at times, but it's not any different when you go to the slaughterhouse. Of course, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable, but I encourage you to push through it. You're going to grow as a person. You're going to learn how to speak to people. You're going to learn how to optimize certain things. And like, I would have never been speaking to a camera in my entire life. I really hated social media. I kind of shied away from it for many years. I would just be the funny guy or whatever all the time. And now look, I'm talking to a camera. Like, it's not like.
Oh, that wasn't hidden. It was to keep the animal activists away.
It's not that hard. It's really not. Just get out there. Try it once, try it twice, you know, 3 times a charm.
Yeah, I love that. Those people that said, oh, I don't think you should be pushing this and doing that. It just makes me think, you don't even know what we're going to do now then. Like if you're saying this, it rages me on the inside, because I think.
Yeah, like I said, I'm sure if people just went as a group, they probably wouldn't do shit. Because you can't get much more unconstitutional than that. Vigils, as I explained to them, actually have unfortunately not been as popular in America lately. I think people have questioned their effectiveness, which I agree to some extent that maybe they are more effective, but when you're part of this live stream and also for activist development, activist fire, they're very effective. And if you're able to get some good footage, then they can be extraordinarily effective.
You haven't looked into those animals' eyes for long enough because you would never say that type of stuff, because those animals need us all to do not something but everything that we possibly can do.
But my current build is really geared more towards strength, not so much hacking.
And yeah, if you've got an hour free here and there and you can go and do something, instead of thinking, I can't be bothered, go and do it, because the animals need you so much. Like we were saying before, this is so urgent. Those animals are going to slaughter every single day. And I think even as like vegans, you can start to feel like comfortable with not doing anything or like dabbling in it and stuff. Like I think the world is trying to condition you constantly, so don't let the world win. Always focus on the animals. And even if those same people are like, oh, you're too militant or you're like this, just ignore them, because the whole time you're focused on the animals, you will know in your heart what you've got to do, and you will know. And like you said, there's awkward situations with family and friends. Going shopping is like so hard sometimes because you see the bodies and you're like, I want to scream at these people, but you're like, these people just don't know yet. So it's our duty to show them and spread this. But when you go to a slaughterhouse,
Indeed.
You're talking to those people straight away.
And that's you, Stephen, right?
We're not coming with anger, and we're not trying to clash with these people. We may have done that in the past, like for sure. Like we feel all the emotions. You feel sadness, anger, and it comes out sometimes, but that is okay. But our aim is to educate these people because they just do not know better. They're us before we were vegan.
100%.
I've been at a vigil. Actually, it was in Korea where one of the girls there had a guitar and was playing guitar, and it was very powerful. It was really more for the activists than the and for the social media than it was like playing to the animals. But that's an interesting idea.
I mean, like, I think apathy is really taught to us, and I think it's a plague in this world. Apathy can just.
I think I knew it was you, Steven. But you change up your name sometimes, so.
Listen neutral and not actually make change in this world that needs to take place. And so, like, we can easily go home and watch the Netflix episode and watch whatever's next on TV, or just do whatever. But a couple hours, like you said, isn't going to do anything to you other than you're actually being a voice for someone that mattered, that's someone that needs your help, that someone needs us to be standing up. Like, I look at it this way, like when I'm on my deathbed, am I going to look back and say, oh, I'm glad I watched The Office 1,000 times, even though I have? Yeah. But am I going to be like, oh my God, I watched 20 episodes of this and I watched this? Like, no, like that's not going to be the change. That's not going to be the things I remember for myself. I want to look back and say, I tried my best. I did my best. And like, honestly, like doing animal rights is really amazing because it helps you, first of all, gain a voice. It helps you have real conversations with people, actual conversations that actually matter. In a corporate world, in a corporate sense, you're in a box and you can't really break outside of that box. You kind of just have to toe the line and just be like everyone else and be corporate or not be able to have real life conversations where when you're out in the streets and you're showing people what's going on and you're showing the truth. I mean, people are going to resonate with that, and we need more of that. We need to set and ignite this on fire. I mean, this has to change now. This has to change right this minute. Like you said, there's so much on the line. All these poor innocent animals are going through that. And I've been to farms, I've been to slaughterhouses, I've seen firsthand the importance of how change needs to happen right this second. And I encourage everyone just to get a little bit outside your comfort zone. You're going to grow as a person. That's part of growth. That's part of being human. We need to step outside of our comfort zone.
That's so true. Yeah. We need people to really have this fire in us that we all share, because I think there'll be less fighting in the movement. I think there'll be more focus on the animals, and there'll be more drive to push beyond our limits.
I just flash back to where I am. I'm located. So this is the Animal Rights Lab, by the way. If anybody's watching in Toronto, it's really incredible. I encourage you to try to get a lab going in your cities. But as I was walking off the subway today, there's a truck sitting there parked, and it says Maple Lodge Farm. So this is the slaughterhouse that I worked at for many years, and it had a picture of a hot dog and the fancy words that they use. And you don't see trucks here that often with that messaging because we're just in a downtown area. So what are the odds of me seeing that taking place right in front of me? So even that, just as I was walking by, I took a few pictures of the truck, and I just remembered, my fight and my desire to end all exploitation for the animals, And I think, of course, yes, if it's something that you need to do, watch Dominion to get you going, or go to a vigil. I would encourage going live to a vigil and going to a sanctuary, get to really know these individuals and know who you're fighting for. And of course, that will only elevate you a little bit more to speak out and be their voice, because I can only imagine, if we can all imagine what it would be like to be in their position. We want the best of the best fighting. We want, like Mel and Steve are always trying to reinvent themselves and look forward and find those niches and find those opportunities where we can amplify their voice and get out there and destroy this awful industry that's exploiting so many.
Yeah, absolutely well said.
Well said.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just going to finish off with just explaining to people if they want to join Project Livestream, feel free to message us. And David as well, he's been messaging people as well and getting people involved. You can start a YouTube channel. We'll help you get you the 50 subs. And what we'll do is we'll let you know the next date for the next Project Livestream, where we'll all go live around the world together. And what will happen is that before you start your live, myself and Steve will already be live somewhere. We will give you an invite link. You will come onto our channel. We'll introduce you to our audience, and then we'll try and push your live stream through our channel. And then you go live on your channel. And then afterwards, we will invite you back onto our live for a debrief. You can talk about anything you need to talk about, and send over your analytics so we can keep an eye on how optimal this is. And after the live stream, I will send you a message just checking in on you, making sure you're okay, if you need to talk or anything. So we try and give you the support before and after.
They handled it so well, by the way. Yeah, they were checking in, they were commenting on people's in people's chats. Yeah, they did the nice intros, directed people around. It was impressive. Like I said, it's not easy, and they made it look easy.
And one thing as well I want to just touch on is, please be safe at these places. So slaughterhouse workers and farmers, they are not there for you. They may come across like they care, but they don't. So be wary of trucks. They can drive fast, especially the back end. And always film with your camera, because if anything happens, you've got it on camera.
And stay within the bounds of the law, because you can't do much activism from inside of a prison cell. Stay this side of the law and optimize your activism.
Yeah, and it's okay if the police turn up, because like you said, you'll be on public land filming. You're in
Head on a swivel. If you're at a slaughterhouse, especially eye on the road.
You're well in your rights to do this. So if the police turn up, don't panic. Just
Traffic.
explain, I'm just live streaming the animals today, and they should then leave.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was there anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, absolutely. Stay safe, everyone. We've had an activist, her life was taken here by a slaughterhouse truck. So I just want to put that in your mind to think about. Always be safe, always know your surroundings. And
That's funny, Neil, if you say that, because I got a buddy who gathered up tons of stickers from Toronto also, and still has them, still gives me some here and there. There's some good ones. Some of my faves.
Exactly like Steve said, just stay within the law. It's perfectly fine. There's nothing more you can do than just be outside those gates. And being outside those gates is just as powerful. As you can see, like we've hit, I don't know how many thousands of people just from filming outside. So that, and maybe bring some sanitizer with you or something like that. Stay clean, safe, all those things. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much
Made good
for coming on the
time.
stream to speak with us today, David. We're in awe of the work you do for the animals. You are resilient, you are relentless, you are constantly out there doing everything you can for them. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of the animals for all the support and all you do for them.
Thank you guys so much for having me on. And likewise, I'm sure we could probably talk back and forth about how much we admire each other, but you guys are incredible. I know you guys work so hard, and thank you so much for bringing Project Livestream together. It's so important, and I love how you guys have evolved and how much you guys invite people into the community and such. So really appreciate it.
Yeah, these are three of the best right here. I've not met David outside of, our chats and stuff, our live streams. I've not met them in person, but communicated with them, and they've always been super nice and supportive, and yeah, they're just awesome.
Thank you so much.
Where can everyone go to watch your live streams, David? Give everyone your socials and all them things.
Yeah, so if you don't know already, I'm the 40-year-old vegan. Not so much 40 anymore, but if you want to check out my Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, they're all under the 40-year-old vegan tag.
Keep it.
And I would appreciate all the support.
Yeah,
Stay 40.
Sure you go subscribe, like, share, and whenever you see David or any activists go live, it's so important to just jump on, double tap the screen, hit a comment, and even if that's all you do, please go and do that, because it spins the algorithm for the animals. So yeah, go and subscribe and make sure that you're got your bell alert on, so that when the live comes,
do all that stuff. Also, for my channel, if you could, if you're here and you're not subbed, please hit the subscribe. That's the number one thing. There's the video, by the way. Hit the subscribe button, and then your work's not done. It could be done, though. If that's all you got, if you've got just 1 click in you, hit subscribe. If you got 2 clicks in you, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you got 3, wow, if you're like really spicy today and you've got you're brimming with click energy, then click 3 times. But don't accidentally click the like button again, because that's going to unlike what you don't undo the work you've done. Don't like it and then click it again and then unlike it, or sub and then unsub. That would not be good. You want to click the sub, then the like, and then the bell. You got to hit the bell notification, because that's how you know that I'm doing this. You might be scrolling around on YouTube watching the latest dumb video where somebody puts some fart spray out there and it's funny and all, but does it change the world? No, it doesn't change the world. It just makes you happy. And then you'll miss the fact that I was here changing the world with my insightful commentary on all these videos. Just changing the world, like people. I think we're understating it. So yeah. All right. Yes. I think that's where we'll end. Let me just real quick. I'm going to do a whole award ceremony today, but I am going to acknowledge the top. Whoa. Holy shit. Holy shit. We have to acknowledge not 3 people. No, we have to give away more. Wait, actually, what am I going to do with the silver medal that I built with my bare hands? What am I going to do with the bronze medal that I built? Nothing, because there's a 4-way tie at the top. Now I have to go and make 4 gold medals. I don't even know if I have that much gold. Let me go look around for more gold. I might have to go with my pickaxe, mining for gold to make you guys your medals, because Nil, Jake Lagatere, Doggo, and Alicia tied for first place. They combined to give me 600 XP. That's a lot of XP, guys. That might be too much XP for me to handle right now. That's a lot. Did y'all collude to inject me with 600 XP? Well, those are the 4 who accrued that much XP. And then there's also Neil, Calvin, Vegan Marshmallow, Steven, Felix, Jason, and Jeremy was here. I didn't even see Jeremy. Where was Jeremy? Jeremy, you snuck in here and I didn't see you? I'm sorry. Apparently Jeremy was here. He got 25 XP. Well, all of y'all combined, I got well over 1,000 XP right into my veins. So I'm going to have to go work that off. All right. Thanks, guys. You guys have a good night. Oh, there's Jeremy. Wait. Oh, you just came in right at the end. That's what happened. Jeremy was like, wait, I got to get some XP. I got to throw some XP in there. Okay, that makes me feel a little better that I didn't just miss you. All right. Congratulations to all of our winners. I'll go grab my pickaxe and go try to make you guys your trophies or your medals or whatever it is. So you're welcome. Have a good night.